We're apples together, apples forever. Oh, sorry, I didn't expect you to be here. So, anyways, it's Saturday morning, and recently, Pinky Apple Pie has finished. So, welcome back to MLP Vlogs, and we're obviously going to talk about this episode. So, last week, Rarity Takes Manhattan. It was an interesting setup, and many people had theories, including Dr. Wolf, that probably the rainbow thread could be the key to that box that's been questioned since the beginning of Season 4. But who knows what it could be. I think we're just back into a slice of life story for this episode. With that said, the episode starts off with Twilight Sparkle learning about genealogy, looking at a couple of family tree books. Next thing you know, Pinkie Pie finds literally a scroll covered in, with the bottom part covered in smudge, that states that Pinkie could be a part of the Apple family. It gets her excited as she literally goes to the family, as they, of course, decide to go to a certain family member and talk about, and ask her if it's actually possible, if Pinkie is actually a part of the Apple family. I mean, for a moment I thought, from the moment I saw the San Diego Comic-Con video, I thought it was going to be like a little, like, Pinkie Pie would actually go back to the rock farm, or just literally just like the apples visiting the like, what was it, the old rock farm that Pinkie used to work for, but then as soon as she saw the rainbow, she just blew out in like a big load of smiles and a lot of fun. So with that said, this one is actually pretty good of an Applejack and Pinkie Pie episode. I know from 2 weeks ago we experienced an Applejack and Fluttershy episode. And one thing I have to love out of the majority of the episodes is that this is actually starting to get much more funner and funner as soon as I get more into this. And basically the apples sing a song that was actually at the panel, which is called Apples to the Core. And there actually is another song in the reprisal of Apples to the Core, but I'll get to that second song later on. I'm almost guaranteed that Apples to the Core will basically be stuck in my head for quite some time, but yeah, just thinking about Apples to the Core, it's like this song deserves to be number 2 right next to Bats. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Apples to the Core. Definitely a good song. And especially with the new writer on board and the story editor being Megan McCarthy. So, with that said, what happens after the song is that actually, a funny ending to the song is that as soon as they're done singing the song, which somehow that, the little cart thing that Big Mac and the apples were on, somehow was able to cue up a song. Now, I know that it's so odd just to see members of just like any person just randomly breaking out into song. I mean, that'd be so strange. But if it could work in MLP, it works perfectly fine in their realm. With that said, as soon as that song ends, it ends pretty hilariously. So it's like, as soon as the song ends, the card breaks. And I'm like, okay, I have to admit, that part was pretty funny. Then, of course, the apples decide to... Of course, Pinkie decides to basically make the cart into a raft. Like, literally a full-fledged raft. Where they basically using tree sap that Granny Smith she found, and then, literally gluing the pieces of the raft to a couple of tree branches, and then making a raft. Of course, while they ride through the raft and come across a three-part intersection, literally one going left, one going straight, and then one going right, the apple bloom tries to find literally the map, but of course she winds up singing a little bit of the Applelicious. Which, of course, if you know this fandom, you know the fact that we've got the multiple licious songs. Twilight-licious, Trixie-licious, Flutter-licious, Rainbow-licious. There's a bunch of various licious, including Apple Bloom of Applelicious. So, anyways, while she's singing her song, she accidentally drops the map into the river, which gets picked up by a fish. Then the next thing you know, the fish is picked up by an eagle. Sheer of luck for these ponies. They, and of course, like usual families on road trips, and I don't know if I'm summing this up right, most people that are on road trips usually act like sort of the way that the Apple family does. But anyways, I really need to catch my breath. Basically, Granny Smith decides to go to the right path, basically the path on the right, which leads into basically the biggest, spookiest cave that there is in Equestria. And yet, the apples are frightened, but then Pinkie Pie's just like, she's just smiling. And I'm like, I'm surprised. Is just Pinkie Pie just really, honestly, not afraid of anything? I mean, I could see possible theories on what she's afraid of. Afraid of not being able to represent her true element of laughter. Like, showing someone how to smile and all that. I mean, we saw it in A Friend Indeed. Then, as soon as they come across the waterfall, the ship basically breaks down. But of course, it doesn't break down by simply them falling down. It's like, as soon as the raft comes down from the waterfall, it looks like everything's intact. Next thing you know, Pinkie Pie just comes down and then touches the ship, and then the next thing you know, breaks down entirely. Then, with that said, the episode officially ends with basically them standing around. Well, actually, it doesn't end at that point. What happens is that the Apple family starts complaining to each other about. Well, actually, they don't complain. They more of just feel like sorry for each other, just what they've done. They haven't been their usual cheery selves, hiding it from Pinkie Pie. But of course, Pinkie's actually seen this and actually feels pretty nice. Then, of course, the member actually left a letter on the door that they were after. Actually went out shopping for a few minutes, and the next thing you know, she arrives, goes into her house, which is apparently full of very rare Apple stuff and big, gigantic, and basically kitty cats. But the surprising thing is, she has a full-fledged tiger in her house. I'm surprised that thing doesn't even eat her. Like, how should she even tame a tiger? That's just completely insane. But, with that said, what happens after that point is the pony finds the little journal, takes a look at the genealogy, tries to look, but unfortunately the book is, much like the scroll, smudged. So they have no idea whether Pinkie Pie is part of the apple family or not. And of course Pinkie and the apples learned the lesson on how basically your friends can also be family. Which, I don't think it's a bad lesson whatsoever. It's honestly not a bad lesson. Wish I could have learned this when I was young, because I never really honestly thought that. So, with that said, Pinkie Apple Pie, what do I think of it? I think it's one of my favorite episodes. Like, if the FiM guy was to do a top 10 list of his favorite MLP episodes if the show ever ended. Like, cancelled. But probably won't because, Season 5's been confirmed. Then this would definitely have to be around number 5 or 6 or something like that. Who knows? It probably could be around the 3, 2, or 1, or whatever. I think it had an interesting setup. It had a nod to the fandom, especially for the little song Apple Bloom sings that's a reference to the, the fandom's Licious videos. And with that said, Pinkie Apple Pie definitely gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Which I think it's a good rating for it. So, that's it for the MLP Vlogs, and I want to give you guys a quick update on this channel. First off, for any animator, you got 2 weeks to do a little animation sample for Winterfall Over the Acres, which, if you took a look at my video, you've seen I've done the thing. Now, if I remember right, I probably extended the thing for a month or so, but who knows? Make sure that anyone who's subscribed to my channel, tell any animator you know about this. Have them send their little sample things. Get Equestria Daily to post this on their nightly roundup. Just anything, please. And with that said, I am calling on a voting poll. Now, I ain't gonna tell you this. Now, normally I wouldn't tell you this much until the trailer came out, but I am working full-fledged on a Brony documentary on my perspective of the fandom and the trip I have to the Northwest Biggest Con, which I would like to tell you right now. Actually, I won't tell you what con it is, but I need your help to vote on the title. I've got 3 titles as it is, and you're allowed to comment on the, my website for the, title that you want to choose. On the vote poll, let's say it'll go on till literally the, say the last day of, the 4th season. I've got 3 titles on there. Basically, all you just gotta do is just go to my website and then just look for the vote poll and then click on whatever one, and there you can vote on 3 different titles. And then officially I'll announce in the last MLP Vlog of Season 4 of what the official title is. So with that said, go ahead, go online, vote for the title of my documentary, and call out the animators and Equestria Daily to post the Winterfall Over the Acres video, and here's to hoping MLP gets much more better with future viewings. So, anyways, I'm the FiM guy, and I'll see you next week for the 10th episode.